All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We have Dan Vitale on. We're going to go ahead and open it up for questions. We'll start with Alan Siegel, followed by Andrew Callahan. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, Danny, welcome to New England.
Thanks, Alan. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Got a question for you. In your career, as you watch the Patriots and how they utilize the fullback, did how they utilize enter into your decision to sign here?
Yeah, absolutely. It's there's only a handful of teams in the league that use fullbacks nowadays. Obviously, there's been a little bit of a resurgence around the league now with the success that a lot of teams have had. So, there was definitely plays into it. Obviously, you only have a couple options when it comes to that, but seeing all the amazing things that James Develin did over the last couple of years, obviously that's enticing for a fullback. So, definitely excited to be here.
Great. Thanks, Danny.
Next question, Andrew Callahan, followed by Doug Hyde.
Hey, Dan, thanks for taking the time here today. How things been for you so far?
Been great, actually. Little silver lining here, obviously with everything going on here in the state of the country. But my wife and I, we actually had our first child, baby girl, born on April 16th. So the little silver lining there is I get to spend a lot of time with both of them. We would have started up April 20th, so probably would have been gone and missed a ton. So relatively speaking, everything's been pretty dang good. Obviously, still getting to work out and everything. You can see my pull-up bar behind me. So
jealous of that. I can't find them anywhere, so I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, so still getting to work out. Obviously, doing virtual meetings and everything, and learning as much as we can, and being as productive as we possibly can as well. So everything's been going great.
Gotcha. Well, glad to hear it. So I'm curious about your early impressions of the playbook, and is meeting with the tight end something you did at previous stops in Green Bay and in Cleveland?
It's kind of a unique situation for me. Jumped around the league a little bit. Been in a lot of different rooms, tight end rooms, fullback, running back rooms, whatever you might call it. Been all over the place. So, I prepare the same way, no matter what room I'm in. I try to learn every single role, every single job. So whenever my number gets called, I'm able to do, everything that they ask me and more. So, it's been interesting, I would say, my career path, being able to do a lot of different things, and just excited to, eventually get back here with all the guys and just see where I end up fitting in for sure.
Thanks, man.
Next question, Doug Hyde, followed by Evan Lazar.
Hi, Danny. Just wondering what the process is like of learning a new playbook during virtual meetings. Is it a lot different than what you might be experiencing if you were actually in the building?
It's a great question. Relatively speaking, I would say as an older player, it's pretty similar to what we'd be going through. We're able to watch film and everything, and we have our playbooks, on our iPads and everything, so we can look through. And as an older player, you kind of know what the job requires, so how often you got to be watching film, going through your plays on your own and everything. And I would say the only difference is we obviously can't get together on the field right now, but other than that, it's been really similar, and we get to hit a lot of details, which is great.
Thanks, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Next question, Evan Lazar, followed by Ian Steele.
Hey, Dan, welcome to the Patriots. I just wanted to take you back to your college days for a second and ask you about being called a superback by people at Northwestern and just what that means to you and where that nickname came from as well.
Yeah, it's funny, actually. I had never heard of a superback before I got to college either. But basically, it was just like an H-back, a move tight end. Northwestern, back when I was there, didn't use a true hand on the dirt tight end. So I played a little bit in the slot, a lot of the times in the slot, on the wing, fullback when we used it, and played a lot of receiver basically as well. So it was just a kind of a versatile player who could do a little bit of everything. And it was good for me because it kept me on the field, playing 60 plays a game, sometimes more there. So, that was just a great role for me, with my athletic ability. And then, also, with my ability to be able to block as well. It was just a way to get me at the point of attack and do a lot of cool things from there. So that was a big reason I went to Northwestern. I just kind of fit that mold that I was looking for.
Thanks, Dan.
Next question, Ian Steele, followed by Jim McBride.
Hi, Dan. Welcome to New England.
Thank you.
I'm curious, you kind of mentioned it earlier. I'm curious how you feel about replacing James Develin, someone who had been with the Patriots for a while and was a Pro Bowler in his last full healthy season with the team. How do you feel about filling in those shoes?
It's definitely some pretty dang big shoes to fill. James is a hell of a player. I've enjoyed watching him really since I got into the league now, and he was really a role model at the position, which as a fullback, a lot of people don't typically notice how important that role can be, and I think it was pretty clear how important James really was to this Patriot team over the last however many years. So definitely have some really big shoes to fill, but I'm really looking forward to that opportunity as well, working with a lot of the other guys. So it'll be fun.
And to follow up, it seems coming into OTAs, or what would be OTAs right now, there's a little bit of a fullback competition between you and Jakob Johnson. How do you feel going into that competition to compete for a starting role in the offense and the other things you can do that might give you an edge in that position battle?
Yeah, we all bring something different to the table. I think it's important for all of us to find out, exactly what our role is going to be and being able to do our job to the best of our abilities. So as an older guy now at this point, I look forward to pushing those younger guys like Jakob, like Dalton, like, Jake Bird, anybody, really, Devin, anybody who might be in that role, being able to, really push each other, help each other learn. We're all kind of in the same position right now. Obviously with the virtual meetings and not being able to get on the field. So, just pushing each other. I don't think, you put any pressure on each other to really like take one's job or anything like that. It's just, you're going to go out there and do your job and let the cards, fall as they may.
Your first do your job as a Patriot. Well done.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Next question, Jim McBride, followed by Mark Daniels. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, Dan, congratulations on the new addition. I'm wondering how you think the presence of fans affects your play, and have you thought about the possibility of not playing in front of fans this season?
You know what? I think it's too hard to speculate, just being honest with you. I mean, we have no idea what's going to happen here over the next couple months, weeks. We don't know when we're going to come back. I think it's too hard to tell right now, if I'm just being honest. Obviously, having fans would be different. Or not having fans would be different, but I don't know. Do you throw in crowd noise, whatever it is? I don't know. So I think it's just too hard to speculate at this point.
Thank you.
Next question, Mark Daniels, followed by Mike Petraglia.
Thanks, Stacy. Hey, Dan, how's it going?
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Hey, good, thanks. Wanted to ask you about last year in Green Bay. I know Aaron Rodgers was very complimentary with you in the summer in training camp, and then you turned out probably one of statistically your best seasons. What was it like playing with Aaron? What did it do, for you, and how much would you say you learned in Green Bay?
Yeah, Aaron's really one of my best friends that I had in Green Bay. Really felt like we our relationship grew over the last year and a half or so, and he was just a true, genuine guy that I was just, absolutely astounded to play with over the last year and a half. And, he's just a perfectionist in every sense of the word when it comes to football. He wants to win, which, as a player, when you see your leaders like that, obviously you want to do the same and be the same type of guy. So that definitely rubs off on players. And I honestly, I can't say anything but good things about the guy. I absolutely love Aaron. I love playing with him.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Mike Petraglia, followed by Mike Reese.
Thanks a lot, Stacy. Welcome to New England, Danny, and congratulations on the new addition.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that.
You bet. Wanted to ask you about kind of along the lines of Mark's previous question about Green Bay, but also Tampa Bay and Cleveland. You've been to several stops in your first 4 years in the NFL. I'm curious how that might help you prepare for how many different situations certainly you're going to be thrown at here in New England. whether it's in training camp, preseason, what have you, as you battle for a roster spot? How you think all of that experience together will help you?
Yeah, I think you kind of answered it there too. Just the experience that I've gotten over all those stops. Different terminology, everything like that. Everywhere is a little different. Some places are a little similar. But at this point, being a fifth-year guy now, you've seen a little bit of everything. So you're able to bring that to the table, and it helps you learn a little bit quickly, more quickly than some other guys, might have the opportunity to do. So in one way, obviously, it's weird moving around a bunch, but on the other hand, it's given me a lot of experience and a lot of chance to learn as well.
Thank you.
Next question will be Mike Reese, followed by Megan O'Brien.
Great. Hey, Danny, how are you?
Good. Appreciate you.
Great, definitely. Do you prefer to go by Dan or Danny?
It's funny. I actually go by Danny. I'm full name's Dan Michael Vitale III. So, my grandfather, who passed last year, but he was always Dan. My dad was Danny, and then I was always little Danny. But I'm the biggest out of the three of us. So
there you go.
And now that my grandpa's passed, I've graduated to Danny.
So we'll go with Danny. And what is your daughter's name, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, her name's Bella Lynn.
Excellent.
So yeah, we kept a little Italian there in the beginning still.
There you go. Well, congratulations on that. And I just wanted to follow up on something you had mentioned when you were talking about the fullbacks and how everyone sort of brings something different to that group. What, for those who aren't as familiar with your style of play, how would you describe what you bring to that position?
Yeah, absolutely. When I kind of had to learn how to play as a different type of fullback and different types of offenses over the last couple of years, like we were talking about, jumping around a little bit. So, when I was in Tampa Bay, I was more of a tight end wing type player. And then in Cleveland was, kind of a hand in the ground bruising type fullback. And then in my time in Green Bay, did a little bit of both. I was kind of all over the field. They would split me out a little bit, catching passes out of the backfield, being a running back at times, a protection back. So I think the biggest thing that I've learned about my style over the last couple of years is being able to be versatile and trying to use, my intelligence to the best of my ability, learn as much as I can, learn as many spots as I can. So whenever they need somebody to step in, I can fill that role. So, that's kind of how I would describe my style of play.
Appreciate it.
We have two final questions, Megan O'Brien and Phil Perry.
Hi, Danny. Congratulations to you and Kaylee.
Thanks, Megan. Go Cats. For those of you that don't know, we went to Northwestern together.
I wanted to follow up on Mike's question about that versatility. You moved around and played in a lot of different spots, but what do you feel like is really your strong point as a fullback?
Yeah, absolutely. I think my abilities with the ball in my hands as well. That's a huge advantage, I think, in my style of play. Is being able to be a playmaker when you need it. I think it showed a little bit last year as well in Green Bay, and looking forward to hopefully getting some more opportunities to do that here in the near future. I will say at the end of the day too, it kind of comes with the territory as a fullback, but kind of being the tough guy and having that mentality is important, and that's something I feel like I can bring as well. I'll do any job that they ask me to do. I'll play hard every single play, and I'll do it to the best of my ability.
And last question, Phil Perry.
Hey, Danny, thanks for doing this.
Of course. Thanks, Phil.
Sort of building on the last two questions there, I'm curious, just because the fullback position, it feels like, is undergoing a little bit of a renaissance in the NFL, and I think Kyle Juszczyk is sort of a name that a lot of people look at in terms of where that position is going. And so I wanted to ask you, do you try to take anything from Kyle's game? Do you see yourself being able to fill a similar role? And do you have a relationship with Kyle? Is there a little fraternity of fullbacks in the NFL? And do you guys see this sort of the position moving in the way it has the last few years?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually talked to Kyle a bunch. He's a good buddy of mine, and we got to do the whole jersey swap and everything like that last year, and playing him twice last year when I was in Green Bay. But I think he's, like you said, he's kind of the prime example of what a lot of teams are moving towards. Obviously, every offense is different, but he's been able to do obviously a lot of great things, since his career in Baltimore, and now obviously all the way into San Fran. So he's kind of the player that I like to model my game after. In terms of the versatility aspect, different teams have different schemes and need their fullbacks to fill different roles. So obviously that's, what your scouting departments are looking for is guys who can fill that role that they need. I think he's a good guy to look up to. As far as there being a fullback fraternity, that's definitely something that was kind of kicked off a lot last year. We had Keith Smith from Atlanta who sent us all, fullback gear and clothing and everything. So we've all become, pretty good buddies over the last year or so, I would say, and we keep in contact. And it's fun watching a lot of guys have some success too.
Is there a motto that's slapped on the gear that was sent out to all you guys?
Yeah. Keith put "Make fullbacks great again," so we all kind of bought into that. I think even James got some hats and stuff from Keith, and I still talk to obviously Kyle and everything. He wrote that on the jersey that we swapped. So we're doing our best to keep the fullback position alive and thriving. So
thanks a lot, Dan.
Of course.
Danny, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We'll let you get back to Bella, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon, we hope.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Fred.
Yep.
Thanks.